So y'all, I had a planned tutorial for today, but I just felt like I wasn't in the best mental state to do it. This past weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia, supremacist, white supremacist, racist, hate mongers, fascist decided to show themselves. And I feel like for me, and as an artist and as an educator, I constantly have to be in the know. And I always feel like, too, that I'm always creating relevant work that would align with what's happening in the world. So, I kind of had some self-care moments that I wanted to kind of share with you. This past weekend, I was feeling a little sad. I was feeling a little depressed, and I was trying to figure out, why was I feeling sad? Why was I feeling like this? But because there's so much happening in the world, it's just like it's all coming down all at once. You know what I mean? So I think I had planned on doing a makeup tutorial today, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about why self-care is important in very, very stressful times. Self-care is important during very, very stressful times because I think sometimes we lose sight of ourselves when we are creating and performing and educating others. And as a teacher, I'm always trying to give and facilitate and bombard my students with information so that they can take it and then they can build their own, activist life. However, it takes a toll, on us educators because we're running ourselves ragged. And so for me, I think that's also important that self-care is at the forefront of our rituals, because if not, then we're going to end up dying before we can actually get the work that we have been working for our lives. One way that I self-care is I go outside, I walk. I was watching this video by Girls Trek talking about when black women walk, things change. And so for me, things change when I walk. They just do. And now that I have a dog, I think my dog is also therapeutic for me, where, I'm walking 4 or 5 times a day with her, and I'm taking some time to reflect and think about life, and sometimes just not even think, just walk. Just walk, 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 walk. Another way I perform self-care is by taking myself out on dates, like walking to the grocery store and making myself a beautiful, nice meal that I know my body's going to appreciate. Doing my hair, that's a ritual that, even though sometimes it can be tedious, especially when you're trying to do a tutorial and you want to teach others about the hair products and the hairstyles that you wear and use. I think doing my hair is also a ritual that calms me and that it, puts self-care in the forefront of my mind. So that's one way as well. I think another form of self-care for me is exercise. Walking, I guess, is exercise, but like also lifting heavy stuff and then putting it down. Going to the gym, and, trying new workouts and things like that. That also helps with self-care. Another form of self-care is I love listening to music. And oftentimes, I have been back and forth with the idea of God and religion in general. And one thing I know for sure is that my voice is divine, my body is divine, my spirit is divine. Anything else that has to deal with people or anything else that has to deal with, perversion of divine truth, I kind of don't really rock with. But for me, I feel like gospel music really brightens my day. And just singing. So sometimes I sing in the shower, I sing to my dog. My dog is like, "What are you doing?" Whatever. And so, yeah, I just feel like singing is also a good part of self-care. Believe it or not, tutorials are another form of self-care. It's creation, it's content, it's a myriad of things. And so when I show up, when I show up physically, I end up showing up mentally. But sometimes when I check out physically, like, I don't take showers, or like I'm sitting at home and I'm not leaving the house at all, whatever. And that's good. That's good too sometimes. But for me, when I take a shower, go somewhere and say I'm going somewhere, I think that also is a ritual of self-care. Physically showing up helps me to mentally show up. I remember when my dad was, on his final, weeks of living, and when he finally passed away, I just kind of didn't want to leave the house. I kind of didn't want to get up, emerge from my covers. I kind of didn't want to leave the borough of my apartment. And I know one thing of self care is, you know, being around joyful people. And even though they might not make me joyful, it feels better to be around people who don't feel like I feel and who might understand what I go through. And they'll just say, all right, come on, you know? So I think that's also helpful. And also for me too, it's just, reaching out when I'm feeling away. And I don't always get people reaching out. I have a few friends that reach out to me and make sure I'm good and text me or call me, and I really appreciate that. But I think oftentimes, this road of creation and this road of entrepreneurship can be a little bit lonely. So I just think I have to recognize my triggers and like try to find ways to manage it. So after watching this video, I hope that you can think about ways that you have self-care in the forefront of your mind, and what are some ways that you perform rituals of self-care. But yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, share, post, whatever you want to do, or record a video of you talking about your self-care routines. Happy Tuesday to all of you.